Have you ever wondered how some kids land into blockbuster movies while others are still stuck in ambiguity?
No.
Well, exactly. It's about time we start wondering on such topics. Welcome to Tar Talks, where we dive into the most interesting and controversial topics from around
I'm
the
sure about interesting.
Well, we try to make them interesting enough. Can I finish? Where we dive into the most interesting and controversial topics from around the world. And for this episode today, we'll pull back into the film industry's most talked about secrets, nepotism, where family ties can either launch you into fame or leave you buried in their shadows.
From the rise of the so-called Nepo babies to the untold stories of newcomers, this podcast will navigate through a journey where passion meets privilege.
Hello everyone, I am Prisha.
And I'm anonymous.
Not anonymous, he is Rinav.
Oh my god. Let them... Oh, okay, fine. Today, we'll talk about meritocracy and nepotism.
Nepotism is deeply rooted in the film industry, in particular because of the ascendancy many family lineages hold in the entertainment business. In other words, success begets success. For children who develop fame because of nepotism, it is an unspoken expectation that their talent is automatically on par with their parents. Even if, in most cases, they're not, this isn't true. Nepotism goes against the concept of meritocracy.
So, what the nerd is trying to say is that, let's say a politician is there and he becomes a famous one. The child also goes into politics. He'll be shadowed from his father's fame. That is what nepotism is.
And going back to my nerd facts, excuse me, Rinav, going back to these facts, why does nepotism even exist in the first place? We're gonna do a little history travel over here and go back hundreds of 100 years ago, several decades ago, where actual skills and university training did not exist. Which meant that, for example, if I wanted to become a blacksmith, I needed either my father or mother to be a blacksmith, because talent and knowledge could only be passed down through family lineages.
It's also for the warriors in the olden times. Like, if the father was a warrior, the son would also be a warrior.
Going back to what many of us have read in our own Vedas and Puranas, the entire thing of Kshatriyas, Brahmins, Vaishyas, why does this exist? This exists because talent and knowledge could only be passed down through fathers. But that is not the case anymore. Coming back to our modern day world, now we have university, we have vocational training, we have skill school, which means that absolutely anyone in this world has the power to become whatever they want.
So the second topic against nepotism is meritocracy. It's basically the act of recruiting and rewarding people according to the merit. This is what our world should do. But it's not. I don't know why, but it's like there's a thing, if there is a famous person, the son should also be famous.
Exactly. And due to this nepotistic idea in our society, it is so impossible for outsiders who give great auditions to actually be at par with the Nepo babies. Nepotism in Bollywood has been such a long topic of heated debate. The Bollywood industry, or any film industry for that matter, is known for its dynasties and influential families, which they have often faced backlash for perpetuating inequality and limiting opportunity for outsiders. While some argue that nepotism is a natural consequence of any family lineage, others condemn it as unjust and detrimental to meritocracy.
When back in 2017, Prisha was listening to a podcast, doing a paintings and with nerdy talk.
Being a nerd, a good nerd. Yeah, what was happening then, Rina?
Yeah, so that time, Kagana Ranaut graced the couch of Coffee with Karan, a famous show. She had addressed the subject of preferential treatment and tagged Karan as the flag bearer of nepotism.
I mean, honestly, for all of my Coffee with Karan viewers out there, how many times per episode does Karan Johar mention Alia Bhatt? Who is Alia Bhatt's father? Mahesh Bhatt. But, Coffee with Karan and what Kangana Ranaut did on Coffee with Karan in 2017 was clearly a very chill and, comfortable way to address this issue.
True.
Having a more uncomfortable conversation over here. One very popular case was the suicide of Sushant Singh Rajput. How many of us remember waking up in the middle, like early in the morning during the COVID-19 pandemic, and having all of our news screens tell us about what had happened to him?
Podcast.
While listening to podcasts.
Painting.
And painting.
Yeah.
But basically, Sushant Singh Rajput was one of my favorite actors. And when I woke up in the morning, finding out about his suicide, I realized how important the protests boycotting nepotism and boycotting movies which contain star kids truly were. Rajput was an outsider to the Bollywood industry and clearly had to go through a lot more hardships to get the same amount of recognition as Nepo babies. That is, if he did ever get the same amount of recognition.
There's one more case linking to this, which is the Porsche incident which just happened.
Exactly, the Pune Porsche incident.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Like, the guy crashed into some people, but he got the bail by only writing an essay. Like, an essay.
And please, let's have a guess over here. Why do you think he got bail by only writing an essay?
Can I guess?
Yes,
Nepotism.
nepotism.
Yes.
Exactly. Come on, finally being smart one. So, as the police later found out, his father was a very influential figure in the Pune building community, being a very famous builder himself, which gave his father all the resources to ensure that his son, even though he was a drunk 17-year-old driver who killed two engineering students, got out of jail by writing only an essay as to why traffic rules were important. This nepotistic power that his father held was so influential that they even managed to frame the driver for the case and got a false confession out of him too. And going back to nepotism in the film industry, one very famous name that comes to my mind is the Kapoor family.
Oh my God.
If anyone over here is into Hindi films or Bollywood movies, how many Kapoors do you think you can name on your fingers? I can name at least 10.
No one asked.
But it's a very important detail, right? It helps us know the actual spread of the Kapoor family within our society itself. And I'm going to ask you a follow-up question now. How many of them, frankly, are good actors? I'm going to sit over here and I'm just going to defend Ranbir Kapoor because I genuinely believe he's a great actor. But other than that, it is so important to remember that they have over 93 years of their family in the film industry and at least 4 generations of every single member being a part of the industry.
Are you sure you like Ranbir Kapoor just for the acting?
I'm pretty sure I did enough. Yeah, he's a good actor. Okay, nothing else. But moving on to Chiranjeevi.
Actually, does the man need a introduction?
Exactly, the megastar of Tollywood.
He's the son of a police constable and worked his way up without any filmy background. Look, this is what talent is. This is what everyone
Exactly.
should do.
He broke out of it. He did not go into security work or the Indian services. He became an actor and he is good at it. There's no denying his talent.
Through this, he also got experiences which other people through nepotism don't get.
Exactly. Actual experiences of what it takes to be up there without any support. And while, of course, his talent and his hard work has, no denying, paved a path for his success, what it has also done is that it has also paved the path for his family's success. And the nepotism present in his family right now is much to the audience's dismay and annoyance.
But the talent does not end there, does it? Now, we have great examples like Mukesh Ambani or Narendra Modi. They have also come up from...
Exactly. Well, over here, none of us are going to, sit over here and talk about how nepotism is the only way for people to rise up.
Yeah.
Because as Zainab mentioned, there are, of course, clear examples, great people who have worked on their own and gotten their own personal skills and identities to truly evolve. But let's be honest, the movie industry everywhere, and not just in the United States or not just in India, is a very incestuous, sect-like world in which family connections, political affiliations, and even the ethnicity of people are the deciding factors when it comes to forging their careers. The Weinstein scandals proved yet again that casting couch is well and alive, and that nepotists aren't safe from this. Forget about the non-nepotists.
So, Harvey Weinstein, what was he? What makes him so important? He was one of the biggest producers in Hollywood history, and he was co-founded the studio of Miramax alongside his brother, Bob Weinstein. So, what did he do? So, through decades, Harvey Weinstein was accused by sexual harassment by actors such as Rose McGowan and Ashley Judd. Imagine.
And what is so wild about this is that this continued when even bigger names like Angelina Jolie or Gwyneth Paltrow added on to the accusation by saying that he tried to make unwanted advances towards them and tried to sexually harass them. Both of these names I've taken are some of the biggest actresses in Hollywood. And yet, if this happened to them, what this makes me reflect on is the number of other actresses, small ones, bigger ones, who are not able to make it and went through this exact same thing but don't have the platform to speak out about this anymore. Following their accusations, Weinstein was fired from the Weinstein Company and Miramax.
Weinstein was also sentenced 16 years in prison due to the 2013 rape of an actress in Los Angeles.
And this is so wild to me how Harvey Weinstein and even the Weinstein Production Company and Miramax are such big names and yet are involved into such dirty politics.
The actress Lupita Nyong'o? So she shared her experience. And Harvey Weinstein, he turned himself into the police, but he was released on bail.
This is so wild to me, the kind of power nepotism truly holds, not just in the film industry, but even in our politics and legal system. And moving on, The tradition of nepotism and power dynamics play a role in creating a situation where victims are hesitant to speak up. Like, for example, Weinstein's misconduct. Numerous people were afraid of facing revenge or being banned from the sector due to the power he held if they spoke up about his wrongdoing, showing how established power systems can quiet individuals lacking ties and impact.
The power of one step, guys, I'm telling you, it's like amazing. Like, if I hadn't taken the step to become audition for the host, I wouldn't be a host.
Yeah, like if you go back to the intro episode, you know how scared Rina was to audition. But now we have Rina over here. And, this is a way, like for example, Rina was over here, both of us are over here because of our own merits, because, we realized that we want to start a podcast and we can host this. But if nepotism were to be present over here too, would either of us be here? Exactly. And this is exactly what happened in Weinstein's case too. Weinstein used his influence to manipulate and exploit aspiring actresses, often promising them career advancement in exchange for sexual favors. This reflects how individuals with established connections can operate without accountability, sidelining talented outsiders who lack such advantages.
Talent is basically behind in the 10th place after various more decisive factors. Nobody seems to be interested in talent anymore. Why is that? What are the producers even doing? Why aren't they recognizing the talent which is so important?
And I feel like because studio bosses, producers, and even directors have spent so much time not caring about talent, they have come to the realization that the public's criteria for deciding a good film has sunk so low that over these years, us new audiences pretty much willingly accept any face on the screen, which is a big part of the reason why 90% of all films which are being created today are so useless. And the overlaying question over here goes back that the only way to end this, sprawl of family-driven success is what the casting directors in the end can do to limit the effects of nepotism within the industry. Shouldn't there be a criteria which entails who should do and what should they do? What would be this basic criteria which entails how, and how would this be successfully implemented? Now, would stricter criteria about casting being put in place be viewed as too critical by those in the industry, or will we forever be in the shackles of nepotism?
This is actually such a great thought. It left me at a thought. I have to actually think about this now.
Yeah, after spending like the last 10 minutes of the episode calling me a nerd, it's good to know Rina has a thought in his head. And hopefully, the audience did feel a change in the way they view nepotism because of this too.
That was Nepotism on Tar Talks. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Have a great day.